Namo Namaha. In this video, we'll learn how to answer the question kutra. Kutra means where. Kutra is an interrogative. That means it is a question word. We don't need to add a va when we use kutra in the sentence. We have already learned other interrogatives earlier. They are kim, kah, and ka. Kim means what for a neuter word. Kah means who or what for a masculine word. Ka is who or what for a feminine word. Sa, ka means who is she or what is that. Similarly, kutra is an interrogative where there are other interrogatives, namely kada, when, katham, how, kutah, from where, kimartham, why, and kati, how much. These 7 interrogatives together are called the sapta kakaraha. Now, why are they called the kakaraha? Just because they start with the sound k. Kim, kutra, kada, katham, kutah, kimartham, kati. Because they start with ka, they are called kakaraha. Today we are going to be learning kutra, where. So how do we answer kutra? The words that answer kutra all end in tra. Unless we are, of course, talking about a specific place, like in the temple, mandire, or at school, vidyalaye, and so on. So we're not talking about specific places. If we are just going to say, oh, here, there, and so on, all these words end in tra. Atra means here. Atra. Now, a good way for you to learn is to use your hands. Okay? So point close to you and say, here, atra. There, tatra. Elsewhere, anyatra. In one place or together, ekatra. Everywhere, sarvatra. Wherever, yatra. Somewhere, kutrapi or kutrachit. So this somewhere is like if somebody came and asked you, where's your pen? I don't know, it's somewhere around here. So that kind of somewhere is kutrapi, kutrachit. Yatra, wherever. So wherever there is Krishna, there is Radha. Yatra Krishnaha, tatra Radha. Okay. So remember, all these words end in tra. Atra is here. Tatra is there. Now, an easy way to remember that, there, T-H-E-R-E, has T in front of here. Here is atra, there is tatra. T in front of atra is tatra. Okay, so just a way to remember atra and tatra. So all these words, atra, tatra, and so on, are avyaya or indeclinable. What that means is these words will never change. Atra will always remain atra. It will not become atraha or atram or anything like that. And these words are usually followed by asti, is, or nasti, is not. In the case of me, I am, it will become aham asmi or aham nasmi. For example, Mama Janani Atra Nasti. My mother is not here. Atra here. Nasti is not. My mother is not here. Bhavatah Syutah Kutra Asti. Bhavatah, your to a boy. Bhavatah Syutah bag. Kutra asti? Where is your bag? Aham atra asmi. Aham, I am. Atra, here. Asmi, I am here. Okay. If you're confident that you know the words atra, tatra and so on, here's an exercise from the Bhagavad Gita for you to analyze two verses. The first verse is the very last verse of the Bhagavad Gita, verse 1878. It goes, Yatra Yogeshwara Krishno, Yatra Partho Dhanurdharaha, Tatra Shrir Vijayo Bhutir, Dhruvani Tirmatir Mama. In this verse, identify all the words that answer kutra. Also identify the various genders of the words. For example, look at the word Yogeshwaraha. Is that a masculine word, feminine word, or neuter word? Similarly, look at all the other words as well. Krishnaha, and so on. Then read verse 1.4. The verse goes, Atra Shura Maheshwasa Bhimarjuna Samayudhi Yuyudhano Viratascha Drupadascha Maharatha. So this is Duryodhana telling Dronacharya on the battlefield before the war has started. So he's saying, Atra, here are all the mighty bowmen like Bhima and Arjuna and Yuyudhana and Virata and Drupada. These are all Maharatha. They are all great warriors. Now think about the battlefield. In your head, visualize the battlefield. See where Duryodhana is standing. See where the Kauravas are and the Pandavas are. Now, thinking about that, tell me, is the use of atra by Duryodhana here, is it appropriate? Okay. Now, pause the video here while you attempt the exercise, because the next slide will actually give you all the answers. So go ahead and pause the video here. Now your exercise was to analyze the words in verse 1878. Which are the words that answer the word kutra, and what is the gender of the other words? So the words that answer kutra are yatra and tatra. They have been represented in the color brown. Yogeshwaraha is masculine and it's in blue. Similarly, Krishnaha, Parthaha, Dhanurdharaha and Vijayaha are all masculine words. They all ended. The red words indicate feminine words. Shrihi, Bhutihi, Nitihi and Matihi. These are all feminine words. The word Dhruva is also a feminine word. It is an adjective. Now remember, adjectives take the same form as the nouns that they qualify. So here Dhruva is an adjective and it is also feminine. Dhruva basically means permanent. So what this verse here says is that wherever Yatra, Krishna, who is Yogeshwara, the master of all mystics, and wherever Yatra there is Partha, Arjuna, Dhanurdharaha, the wielder of the bow, Tatra, there, Shrihi, opulence, Vijayaha, victory, Bhutihi, extraordinary power, Nitihi, morality, Dhruva, which means will permanently. So permanently in that place, Shri, Bhuti, Niti will always remain. Matihi mama. Matihi means opinion. Mama, my. So this is my opinion. This verse is being spoken by Sanjaya to Dhritarashtra. So the translation is there. Wherever there is Krishna, the master of all mystics, and wherever there is Arjuna, the supreme archer, there will also certainly be opulence, victory, extraordinary power, and morality. That is my opinion. Now let's analyze verse 1.4. Atra shura maheshwasa bhimarjuna samayudhi yuyudhano viratascha drupadascha maharatha. Here in this army are many heroic bowmen, equal in fighting to Bhima and Arjuna, great fighters like Yuyudhana, Virata and Drupada. The question was, is the use of atra here valid? Now, I had asked you to visualize the battlefield in your mind. So you have Duryodhana talking to Dronacharya. Next to him are the Kauravas. On the other side, far away, are the Pandavas. And yet, Duryodhana says, Atra, here. He doesn't say Tatra. There are Arjuna and Bhima. He says, here are Arjuna and Bhima. Now an argument might be made that they are all on the battlefield. And so Duryodhana is saying, here on this battlefield, here is Arjuna and here is Bhima and Drupada and Yuyudhana and Virata and so on. However, in contrast to this, there is this other verse in Bhagavad Gita, verse 1.7. So verse 1.4 is where Duryodhana is saying, here are Arjuna and so on. And then in verse 1.7, 3 verses down, he says, Asmakam tu vishishtaye tan nibodha dvijottama nayaka mama sainyasya sanyartham tan bravimite. But for your information, O best of the Brahmanas, let me tell you about the captains who are especially qualified to lead my military force. Now here, the use of the word tan means them and they are far away. Now remember, if something is far away, we say tat or saha or sa. When they are close, we say, that's right, etat, eshaha, esha. Now tan is they are far away. Tan nibodha. Now let me tell you about them who are far away. And who are they? These are my military force. Mama Sainya. They are my army. Now he is standing with his army. His army is closer to him than the Pandava army. Yet Duryodhana is looking at the Pandava army and saying, Atra, they are here. He's looking at his own army and saying, Tan, they are there. So this kind of gives you an insight into Duryodhana's mind at this time. He is so consumed with hatred and jealousy and all negative emotions for the Pandavas that they seem so close by, even though they are far away. And at the same time, he doesn't seem to have very much confidence in his own army. He places them far away in his own mind. So just by understanding these two little words, atra and tan, we get an insight into Duryodhana's mind. With that, we come to the end of this video. I hope you have enjoyed it and that you've learned how to answer kutra. And I'll see you in the next video. Bahu bahu dhanyavadaha. Namo namaha.